Look, I think this is a bad look for the NBA. You got the greatest player in the NBA, an owner in the NBA. There's no stronger voice on the NBA, maybe other than Charles Barkley, and we expect Charles to say crazy things. But I tend to agree with Jordan that I just don't think this super team thing is good for the league, and this is a bad look for Michael Jordan to be giving voice to that.
Why not? There have always been super teams. I mean, the only bad look is for Mike to say this, and he's saying that you don't like super teams. Well, he was the super team, okay? You think about it. He had 3 Hall of Famers on his squad. In the 80s, Magic, that was a super team. Magic, Kareem, Worthy, that's a super team. You go to Bird's teams, those are super teams. You go back to Wilt's teams. You go back to Russell's teams. There have always been super teams in the league. But it's funny now that the guys who were on those teams are saying we never would have done that.
How many combined losses did the Cavs and the Warriors have going into the finals in the playoffs?
I'm sure you're about to tell me.
1. That's not competitive. So he's not wrong here. Now, the problem is he's talking about his own. He's talking about, hey, my team sucks, and so does 27 others. Look, the small market owners are ticked about this thing. They're ticked about the Paul George thing. The converse argument to it is, hey, look what it's done to Oklahoma City, to Houston. They've reinvigorated themselves. They've reformulated themselves to be competitive. But based upon last year, it was a foregone conclusion. Those 2 teams were going. The playoffs were non-competitive, not interesting, not well-watched, and he's not wrong.
Yeah, except for the fact that when Jordan played, it was a foregone conclusion. He was going to the finals in the 90s.
It's not true.
Every year he was in the 90s, he went to the finals. 3 straight, retired, came back 3 straight. Anyways, my problem here is with Michael Jordan. This is a jealous man who's upset that he can't get a super team. He can't get an interview. And he can't get an elite star to even think about going to Charlotte, okay? This is sour grapes from Jordan and Charles Barkley, who keep yelling that the Warriors are jump shooting teams and the current NBA's garbage. They want to just protect their legacy from the 80s and 90s. That's what they've been doing. I've been writing this on The Big Lead. I said it on my radio show. The current NBA right now, Doug, I believe it is firmly better than what Michael Jordan played in the 80s and 90s.
When he went on his second run, like, look at the teams that they played in the finals. They played the Trailblazers 1 year, the Suns 1 year, the Sonics 1 or 2 years, Jazz 2 years. They didn't play the same team every year.
I know.
Okay, and
But they were, that's what I said.
They were the super team.
They were the super team.
They were pushed to the limit, but they had the Cavs were competitive, the Knicks were competitive.
They beat everyone. They
had to go through the Celtics and the Pistons in order to get there. There was more than just 2 teams.
But listen to what you're saying. They had to go through these teams. They did. They were the super team.
Yeah, nobody
that's
can
what
get
he's
by.
saying.
His point, though, is not only did the Warriors and Cavaliers get through, they eviscerated their competition. It was non-competitive.